Hello. Today we're working on video 5. Welcome to Heaven on Earth. This is the Sunday School Creation Series, video 5. The multiplayer playground. After the first God, created the first universe all by himself with a lot of supervision and protection in place, and it was successful. And then other gods ran through the program and also got bigger. Carl got to do it a second time and with new program, and created, multiplied, duplicated himself, and it was amazing. It was unbelievable. It never happened like that before. And so a whole group of gods got together and thought, let's do a group playground. Yay! And just like in the first video, or the first universe, the first playground, they had to get permission from the Allah mind. They got together and wrote all the programming. They have all the framework on this side, how much God consciousness could go in, how big it could be, how expansive, the karmic ride, what different levels and layers their consciousness would experience and go through to get to the top. And it was wonderful. They were all very, 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 very excited. Okay. And so they get together, like 5 gods. I'm going to keep this simple for human parable telling. 5 gods got together and all ran the program simultaneously. And all poured a certain amount of God consciousness into the universe, into the framework of it, so that at the moment, this void, they all kind of put their bellies together and created a void between the 5 of them. A big hole in the middle of the 5 of them. And then they poured all the God consciousness that would be the framework in together. And the program began running. And then, see, as the programs run and expand and you have suns and planets that can hold more God consciousness, more of the God consciousness gets, that is going to go through the karmic side. Like there's the framework side and the karmic side. And the framework side, all of that God consciousness enters the instant the program starts. Okay. But then as it goes, kind of like you add to a recipe as it's going, as the universe goes and expands and there's suns and planets and more complex life that can get God consciousness added to it, more God consciousness enters the program that is the karmic part of the program, the growth part. And then it comes out the other side as full-fledged gods. That was the plan. Okay, so all 5 of them get together, they create the void, they start the process of taking God consciousness and solidifying it into matter. And had a beautiful ride. The ride went great. It was better than expected. Love and joy and peace. All 5 of them bent over with their heads focused on their creation. All 5 of them intertwined. If you think of like 5 different Groots all growing their vines together to create a universe. And then at the end, when it should have resolved, dissolved, all the equations should have been solved, and the universe end, and they all go back into themselves. There was a complication. It was a massive complication. It was an unexpected complication. But essentially, they were all still intertwined. They couldn't undo all the equations, all the karmic equations that had happened between all of their children and all of their pieces and parts. They couldn't solve all the equations, and they were literally in a flux of being tangled. Their consciousnesses tangled, and they couldn't get undone. And racking pain went through them, and therefore every being in heaven. Like ripping a huge hole in the middle of your belly unexpectedly and having 1,000 knives stab you. It was worse than that. Okay, it was excruciating pain for all of heaven. And so, of course, immediately the entire body of heaven responded. A layer was put around the anomaly to protect the rest of heaven and allow the rest of heaven to not be as affected. And immediately, gods on hand, gods that were experienced and knowledgeable, were on hand to help solve and resolve the equations, because the beings, the gods that were on the ride could not. Okay, the monitors, the people that were monitoring and assisting and watching. And the equations they came up with are what's called the Christed equations. I call them God's get out of jail free card. Because whenever there's equations that get so complex and so messed up and so intertangled that God can't solve them, He can apply this set of equations and formulas to the situations, different ones to different situations, to resolve the situation. And that's what the life that was known on this planet as Christ is from. He was created from those equations. He was our very beautiful divine brother, and I'm so grateful for him every day. Anyway, so the Christed equations were created to solve the problem and resolve the anomaly, and all of them were able to be solved, resolved, and dissolved and go back into themselves. And it was beautiful, and it was shocking, and all of heaven was like, Holy Mother of Good Gracious, let's not ever do that again. That was exquisite pain for everyone in heaven, and we just don't feel like we're ever going to want to do that again. So we're just going to put that on the no thank you list. And the thing was, the gods that were on the ride together, those 5 gods, knew how exquisitely beautiful and amazing it was, and how much fun, and it was the most glorious thing ever in their experience of all their lives. And to be told that they could never do it again, and then it like crashed, and it was a horrific disaster. And they felt like if they just had a chance, that they could make the ride safer for everyone in heaven, and that there would never be that horrible pain again. There would never be another problem like that again. And they would make this ride safe for everyone. Okay. And everyone felt like that was agreeable, and everyone essentially agreed to that, and everyone in the Allah mind agreed that, you know, it was a beautiful experience, but they had work to do, and that if they could, you know, kind of get it all figured out, we'd talk. So this leads us to the next video, which is actually the war in heaven, and who is on what sides, and what sides won, and how it was really nobody died, and nobody was quote unquote cast out. Okay. The rules and things, you know, changed. Christ's solution was the solution. And it was beautiful at the end. But it was truly a war, a war of wills and minds and consciousnesses and beliefs and fears. Because fear had never been had in heaven before, and pain had never been had in heaven before. And it was something that they all had to work through together to overcome and deal with. So that's the next video. The war in heaven. This was the video on multiplayer playgrounds. The very first one, and what happened, and how it led to the war in heaven and the crisis solutions. So I love you, my brothers and sisters. I honor you as godlings from heaven. Know that everyone in heaven loves you, and everyone in heaven wants you to have peace on earth and live your most beautiful life of love, the life that you love with people that you love, in peace and love and harmony and prosperity and health and wealth and happiness. Hugs and kisses from heaven. I love you so very much. Have a beautiful day dancing on this magical planet.
3 things you can do right now to help create heaven on earth. Like this video. It helps the algorithms share it with more people. Subscribe to this channel and share these messages with someone you know who could use some more hope, love, peace in their hearts, and would like to experience a little heaven on earth today.